kind of want to see how he works as a 4 because the pull distance
It's crazy.
buff is
Yeah.
really good. So it's definitely not a scaling one anymore because they took away the level 15 cleave talent. But you never know. Anything's a possibility. As they pick up a Clockwork, which is most likely going to be Karkar's hero.
This is an incredible pickup, like an incredible pickup. Lena as a position 2 is often going Brute to Travel, BKB. Full Staff doesn't really fit kind of the itemization for the Lena, and she early on is very reliant on not getting caught out from the Clockwork, who gives you vision advantage for the Void to jump, and then also fulfills the weaknesses that the Omni Knight doesn't have. And not even just that, also the Brewmaster is a hero that really relies on this long cast animation in the Primal Split, and Battery Soul just chews you up.
Yeah, I think it's really fitting as well. And, you know, you can set up some decent team fights. You can, you know, keep people quite controlled and enable Void Spirit to really get off the full complement of his damage. So we'll see. I mean, if Luna is forced to go into the 4 stuff, at least you can salvage it by getting a Hurricane Pike, which I think is, you know, going to be quite nice. Now, what is left though? And you'd have to say the mid lane's probably decided, the 5s are probably decided. So safe lane carry, big one that's left remaining. Anti-Mage, Arc Warden, lots of rat heroes that IG just don't like to play against. They like to play Dota, you know? They don't like to play this tower defense style that Asta were forced to play last time. They were able to bring it off and pull it back, but
Dire team pick.
it was definitely a rough one for them, and they're going to go for a Tusk. Okay, so lots of early aggression coming through here. It's definitely something that Felix Chaba loves to play, and it just gives them another way to disable in these team fights. But, you know, when I guess a big part of your team fight effectiveness is nullified when the Omni Knight uses Guardian Angel. Obviously, the tag team's not able to buff up, but by that point, you're not really as worried.
I'm really not a fan of the Tusk getting picked up. Like, it's... Void Spirit has Resonant Pulse, a little bit of physical absorption, Guardian Angel to stop the tag team. You are not a great pairing in lane with the Sand King. Like, this is not a hero you think of when you want to play with the Tusk. Like, he's not a right-click centric position 3, and it just felt a bit awkward because also Cogs, he's got a bit of difficulty getting out of. Maybe he can get cute with shards, snowball, I guess, to get away, but that is still a key component of his kind of toolkit. So it definitely can give RNG at least now a way to take Roshan, but...
I mean, for me, this just screams to the fact that they want D-Stones to be able to sit back and right-click as much as possible without any interruption. You know, if they wanted to go something that perhaps fit a bit better against some of these heroes, then a Mirana would have been nice, you know? Sand King into a Mirana. Yeah, you've still got to deal with the Heavenly Grace, just, you know, reducing that and, you know, for the status resistance, but you would really then only have the Sand King and I suppose the Brewlings that enables you to create some sort of space with Alina, right? Mirana doesn't want to be in the middle of a team fight. It's really only to kind of clean things up with a Starstorm. But Tusk, he wants to be in there. He wants to be brawling constantly, and that can allow Lena to really reach full effectiveness.
What are we looking for with the last pick from either team? Position 1s, I believe?
Yep, nice. Seems that way.
So RNG looking...
Is this the Undying? Could this be it?
You really wanting this Undying pickup?
I do, man. I'm telling you, it's the way of the future.
That's going to be quite a difficult lane to play into, Undying Brew, if that's the case. They get rid of Doom into the Gyrocopter answer. Morphling available? No, it got banned out from IG. Okay,
I think they could just go something that's going to get active early on. I mean, you don't have amazing... No, it's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Okay.
Maybe a Jug?
Yeah.
Would be terrible.
Yeah, Jug looks really good. You can play decently into the Sand King. Whenever Sandstorm's up, you kind of have to play away from that area. But as soon as it's on cooldown, you are able to trade efficiently because of the attack time. Agility heroes, so the lane you should have a decent amount of armor versus a Tusk. You got Omni to back you up, a lot of sustain, a tower hitter. I want a melee so Darkseer can enable you, or some range here that's going to go in, and someone like a Razor doesn't look that good this game, which is probably the best range to pair with Darkseer. They're gonna okay.
Choose your hero.
Okay.
I do
It's
think
early.
this hero got buffed pretty heavily. It it's not like on paper like a incredible Slark game, like not against any real beefy person, but they have very minimal AoE damage to go through the Shadow Dance, and he does get buffed up from the Darkseer, so I don't hate it.
And especially like later on, the biggest change for me about the Slark was the level, I want to say 20 talent, now giving +1 agility stolen per essence shift stack. So that's 2 every single time. And you're probably going to get an Echo Saber. So you're just getting so many stacks so quickly. And against something like a Gyrocopter, when you're stealing agility away from him, where's the damage going to come from? It basically means you deal with the Lena, and you can even just stick the Slark on the Gyrocopter. There is very little damage coming out from
Yeah.
RNG if they're able to get these lanes right. But I think they just needed something that was going to get aggressive with an Omni Knight, and something that was going to get aggressive overall with, in terms of like going for kills as opposed to farming, because you know that with how God King wants to play this, Gyrocopter, if it's played as a core role these days, you oftentimes just completely ignore the rocket barrage. You're wanting to max out that flak cannon, maybe a couple of points into the homing missile, and then just stats, and that's what you need.
And we've got a 5 melee lineup from Invictus Gaming as well. So they are all in on the aggressiveness, just run at you Dota, which a Darkseer can enable, which an Omni Knight can enable as well. Looking at it a little bit more, like I'm really worried how they kill Fly when he gets his items and when you have all these buffs to add to his value this game. And I think we could potentially see a Mage Slayer as well, which makes me more excited because I still think this item's incredibly bonkers, and we didn't see in our first series, and I think it's gonna get a lot of limelight.
Do you feel like this is a game though where you would even want to disassemble the Echo Saber on the Slark? It's a really good Echo Saber game.
What do you feel like makes it a good Echo game?
Well, I think all Slark games are good Echo games, honestly, with the 20 talent.
I guess like you can still go back into the Echo after you pick up Mage Slayer, but that is the issue.
Sure.
Is then like Slark has got Treads, Echo, Mage Slayer. That's already 3 slots, probably Wraithband and a Wand. So he then may become very slot dependent with these cost effective items, but like he might even fit like a Sunjin Yasha in there. I'm intrigued to see what Fly wants to itemize this game on the Slark. He's an incredible Slark player, and I'm excited to see him also start to rise to fame as well. We got the bounty runes, no real contention there. As either team, they see the force of numbers and they give it up for free. So a 2 for 2.
2 for 2, yep. And we can see Ollie, he's just going to want to be zoning away the Tusk as much as possible. Although, are they going to... No, okay. He's making the rotation up towards the top side. Felix Chauba, I thought maybe they might go for some sort of kill attempt just because they've got easy ways to proc the Cinder Brew. But not going to be the case. For me, the heroes that we need to be focusing on this game are, in terms of how they're controlling the team fight, it's Red Panda. In terms of when he's using his Blink Epicenter, it's Flyby. I mean, you talked about the 5 melee matchup. Can you imagine, the potential for Flyby's damage this game? It could be nuts.
Yeah.
And of course, it's just all going to be on this Slark. Super early on, the Slark needs to be able to get kills. You need to transition into the mid game. And you would probably assume that Void Spirit's not going to have the easiest time, but you definitely have a lot more of the tools to enable yourself to.
How do you feel like Slark's lane is going to go then against the Sand King and the Tusk? Do you feel like Fly should be able to have a lane, then maybe he can get some early permanent agility?
It depends. It depends what he skills up, right? Like, you typically want to be getting quite aggressive when you've got a Tusk in your lineup, just because, tag team, why not? You just get an early stun off, get the tag team, start hitting into him. And it's going to depend on, they're going to have a look at, okay, what's Ollie carrying? You can see he's got a Salve and a Sentry Ward queued up, but he's only got the 1 Sentry Ward available to him. Do they even have any for themselves? No, Felix Chauba's got 1 queued up as well. So once he Once he has that available and he's able to potentially counter the one in lane, that's when you could start leveling up the Sandstorm. But I think early on, you need to get the max value out of your Burrow Strike that you can.
Have you taken a look at this Gyrocopter 25 talent as well?
The one that's like, I've actually, while we were waiting for 7.3 to come out, I was playing a bit of Han, and it reminds me
Really?
of Bombardier. Yeah, my friends had some nostalgia trip, and they were like, "Let's play! Come on, Mid Wars." It's like, all right, I guess so. Got nothing else to do. But yeah,
How
it's fun.
are they
I haven't
still
seen it.
updating on?
Uh, yes,
Yeah,
I would say so. It's still very popular in Thailand.
sure. JT. Oh, question marks early. Like, guys,
Two question marks. That's twice the power.
what's going on here? You reckon though? Like one question mark feels like there's a little bit more emphasis on it. Like it's just a
It's more of a statement than a question.
sure, sure. If you want to put it like that. Ollie's like, they burned the PC. What's going on? So yeah, do you feel like the core down's fun? Is that what you were saying?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be fun to see like what do they call it? Like a blanket fire, napalm barrage,
Just a stealth bomber dropping
carpet
missile
bombing.
off.
That's what
Yeah.
it's called.
It's I have to imagine you go the flat cannon with all the talents. Like he's got ridiculous talents now. Plus 300 range, plus 2 attacks, which is kind of crazy. Not that it was already super strong. Do you feel like the nerf to the 250 range is enough? Like how much is this going to impact Jar?
Well, on the Radiant side, Jaro never really was quite as able to take camps as easily as on the Dire side. I'm not sure how exactly that 1000 to sorry 1250 to 1000 impacts the Dire side. I would say you probably can't farm all three of these camps together. But on the Radiant, the camps are, not quite as huddled together where you never really could take the three around the outpost anyway. So if you're in the triangle, it's the same. So I don't think it matters for them with why they picked it this game.
God damn. Omni Knight's even looking to join the fray with leaving. What are you doing here, Ollie? You're supposed to stand strong. Maybe they can now go into the 4v5. Maybe this is where we get an even game here.
What do you reckon is the reason that they changed Omni Knight's Ag Shard? Because it used to be like you deal a lot of damage and you heal yourself, basically. But now it feels like an anti-carry style of thing. Also, there's a typo. Why is to deal not have a space in the middle?
Is this in Dota or in the patch notes?
In Dota.
Oh yeah, I see. Man, there were so many typos and mistakes in the
like
patch
the third
notes.
line. It was like, let me find it.
I see the to deal one in Dota at least. Have we got everyone back? Oh, still waiting on D-Stones. So what's it do now? Puts a debuff on the enemy hero, which reduces the enemy outgoing damage by 60 for 4 seconds. What's the cooldown? It's up to 10, so 6-second downtime.
It's not bad, but like
the only issue is like Omni support, you don't want to be in the middle. Like when are you ever going to be right clicking heroes? Like what what is this? Like maybe like a position 3 Omni Knight, like but even like then okay, so the issue is if you put Omni Knight in position 3, how the hell do you keep up in farm? Like we literally saw this hero skyrocket out of favor as a position 3 as soon as GPM talents were lost, and that has been for months. Like this hero has not been played at a core because you can't farm. Like you literally get to the stage where you are a W bot, and that is a big issue on the Legion as well. We see very few games where Legion actually scales at a core unless he has a team that can enable him to get damage, and then you actually do okay because your overwhelming odds nuke is you can't keep up in farm at all.
No, absolutely not. So I feel like Omni being a 5 is fine. It fits kind of the style that you want. You're still able to enable your safe lane core. You can play well against these more aggressive position ones, which I always really enjoy watching. And as well, now they've even buffed it further, right? At the later levels, it provides, what, 2, then 4, then 6 more strength. So why not?
Early on up top, getting aggressive on Oli. Tag team Burrow Strike. A lot of trades at the level 1. Fly's got the essence, so up to 6 stacks. Who has the orb? Okay, it is Felix.
Pretty standard. I mean, the thing is with Oli, he could probably look to make another play in here and just go in and heal, because you want to be taking advantage of the fact that Purification has that lower cooldown relative to the tag team. The fact that he waited so long might end up costing him, but he should be fine with Fly just harassing him back with the Essence shift stacks.
JT? He's blocked in all these creeps and JT's just gonna die. Oh no, God King picks up first blood. That is quite a unnatural position for a Darkseid to be in, to say the least.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Ollie has to be careful here. You got the tag team available again, although it is level 2 that IG have now. So maybe Flyby and Felix just waiting for that to go up. But good lane manipulation there from Fly, making sure that he's able to deny the range creep and delay it as much as possible.
How do you feel like this matchup mid is going to fare between D-Stones and Emo? Is the range aspect of Lina giving her the edge?
I mean, of course, and we talked about it before. What did Lina need? She needed to be stronger in the mid lane, so they just gave her that extra 2 base damage.
Bottom lane, Red Panda. Taking a lot of damage here. The early level in the vac secures that last tick, and up to top we go. Felix, first perma agi of the game picked up here for Fly. And that is a great way to slot on the slog.
I mean, Ollie was literally frame perfect with his Heavenly Grace. He was casting it as the Burrow Strike was going out onto Fly. So there was no downtime for Fly to just be able to turn around and hit onto the Tusk. More importantly, they attempted to go for that aggressive play on RNG before Felix was actually level 2. So he wasn't able to have any kind of defensive capabilities. He wasn't able to ice shards himself away. So perhaps a bit of a misplay coming through there.
Well, already a good start to the lanes here from Invictus Gaming. Looks like Emo is even having at least a decent time. 17 last hits. He's been able to refill up his bottle from the bounty, and already trying to stack up the small camp as well. So Emo, do you feel like he can get a little bit more active early than the Lina?
Money to burn.
I think he's going to have to. You know, that's the whole thing that kind of brought this Void Spirit back into popularity, is that the fact that you've got so much more impact super early on. You know, that Astral Step, you get a bit of a buff to the duration, you get a bit of a buff to the mana cost, you have a nice Aether Remnant damage talent at level 10. So we'll see what they're able to do with it, as you know, it's just going to get harder and harder up on this top side, at least until Flyby hits onto, I'd say, level 4, maybe even level 5, and he can just sit back and be a bit more passive with his farming.
Yeah, it looks like the lane is not in the greatest position right now for RNG. It's just the solo Omni Knight
on this bottom side.
Yeah, they're both stuck inside the cogs. 4 heroes trying to battle it out. Who comes up victorious? And Kaka will be the sole survivor there, victorious with a double kill.
Just baiting him in. I mean, it was a nice use of the Cinderbrew and Thunderclap by Red Panda, but if you've got 2 different Ion Shells dealing damage
top lane,
to you inside
Fly and Ollie battling Flyby. They get another round of the pounce. They do. Great target lock on from Fly secures his second perma agi of the game.
Things going well for IG to start out. I mean, the lanes you would kind of expect the mid lane to go a bit more in RNG's favor, which it has, but other than that, you know, everything was coming up IG, so they'll be very happy with how this has turned out.
Yeah, I mean, expecting mid lane to go favorable for RNG, but still it is a 500 net worth difference actually from bot lane. Kaka, that's a decent kill to find. 286 gold as more JT's already used the surge. And with the shards locking any opportunity of escape route for the Darks here, they can chase him down and find another kill back to back.
All right. It takes a rotation from Felix to enable that, but by this point, Flyby, he's been able to build up enough experience that he's got the Sandstorm available. He knows that with that rotation, you don't have the capability of this of the supports on IG side to try and turn things around onto you. And he's just going to continue dragging.
Oh, nice dodge. The LSA off the mark there because Emo's use of the dissimulate. He's going to try and drop the Laguna Blade on Kaka, who's not taking up the tower at the moment. Ollie's able to get rid of the aggro, but Felix swinging on over through the river. Thanks to the haste, he'll at least get some rebuttal.
Looking up here with Flyby, he's just sitting completely to the right of the tier 2 tower, meaning that you're going to need a decent rotation to be able to take him out. Ollie, you get scouted out by the courier, I believe, but they don't have any detection just yet. It's going to run out soonish, though.
They're going to miss a full creep wave under the tower, so Flyby should be aware of this. He could just burrow maybe into a TP. Let's see if Fly can continue to hunt him through the tree line. He's even just going to pounce over instead of relying on the Quelling Blade to cut through. Now with a Burrow Strike on cooldown for 7 seconds, but Flyby, he jukes to the eastern side, and this means that the Slark has just missed a completely full creep wave there, and space from Flyby.
Yeah, you can see Ollie, he's hanging around in the area, not trusting the fact that, Flyby might have gone out, which he hasn't. Still has a good 10 seconds left, though, until he can Sandstorm, but I'm sure he's
again, bottom lane, he's in trouble. They've got the homing missile to lock him in. Emo's coming through with the rotations. Vax sets up to a beautiful double astral step. And JT finds a double, and now Red Panda should be chased down as well. They'll have to rely on the body blocks, but Emo has another round of the 8th Remnant to drag him back to his demise. One more damage over time through the Iron Shell secures JT a triple.
Fly's here again, looking to... he's got the dust of appearance at least, but I wonder if, finally, the TP comes out from Flyby.
Wait, this is... He's missing so many creeps.
Yeah.
At least 3. I mean, he missed the full wave previously, now 3 melee as well. He's putting a lot of emphasis on trying to shut down the Sand King. He missed the whole...
Which he has.
What? Oh, bot lane, God King.
Right?
Emo's getting really active early. They're looking to punish the Gyrocopter. That's 3 deaths now for your position 1. And Red Panda, he just TP'd into the lane. Now, Dire, they don't have the creep wave to enable them to potentially dive, so maybe Emo now will recognize this and shove it out. They've got a great ward in the backline and the wall positioning as well. So Red Panda, he's trapped. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, as the Brewmaster will end up falling as well underneath the tier 1 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid lane, action continues onto Ollie. Beautiful shards, pushes back the Omni Knight, but they missed the LSA, and Ollie's actually going to be okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Should be just fine. I mean, D-Stones, he's doing a good job at trying to shove this lane out as much as possible, but Emo's doing exactly what he needs to. You know, the ninja moves coming through with the multiple astral steps to be able to take out these high priority targets, and it's kind of like what we're expecting. The 1 point in the rocket barrage, though, by God King, kind of feels a little...
Radiant's bottom
I don't know. Like, it feels counterintuitive because you don't really want to be doing that much damage. I suppose he was tired of just getting cogs together with no real ability to make any kind of aggressive movement.
Guys, your tier 1 tower is just literally getting... What?
Radiant's top
They were DB. I thought they were going to go defend it. Kaka maybe just picked up level 6 too late, but D-Stones brought that down, I think, from 4 to 0 off maybe 1 and a bit creep waves there, and well, that is an early tower to find.
You can see here, I mean, this is what we were talking about with what the Flak Cannon can do. It's just got slightly too little range. They're actually going to take it away with Red Panda here, just to get him up onto his level 6.
They are scouting out JT and Kaka's positioning. The wraparound from Tusk, but unfortunately they don't have that instant way to start fights until Flyby is able to complete the Blink Dagger.
Pings come out. So realizing that it was nighttime, the fact that they made their movement was kind of indicative that they had full information of exactly what was happening. You just see that they're going to continue to try and make an aggressive movement here. I mean, Broodmaster, he's gone for the Urn, of course. Easy way to proc the Cinderbrew in lane. And now that you've got the Primal Split available, you want to try and take out, most importantly, I would say Emo. He's the real tempo setter for IG right now.
Are you worried that they don't have any ancient stacks at the moment, though, for God King to kind of catch back up from his 3 early deaths?
A little bit, but I mean, they've been forced to play on this bottom side of the map because of how much aggression has been given over to the gyrocopter. You can see even here, they're invading, trying to check out for any safe stacks in the jungle. You know that at this stage, that's probably where a gyrocopter wants to be, because, you know, you're not capable of taking the ancient stacks. You don't have any items that are going to enable that. Blade of Alacrity is not going to be enough. Don't stop him trying, though. Ooh, actually, he's gone up to top. Okay, don't mind that. Protect against the siege creep. Value, being able to take care of these ranged as well. Nice little experience boost there for God King.
We might have a big battle break out the mid lane here. Flyby's just going to be the tower defender. But there are a mass amount of numbers starting to accumulate around the mid lane as Emo instantly looking at Pounce with the haste. Down bottom, though, they've caught out D-Stones. This is a valuable target to kill off, and Kaka, JT, the 1-2 punch from the Clockwork along with the Darkseer. And now, with a lack of numbers on RNG, they can look to hunt for more. Underneath the tower, Emo goes. Still, Red Panda, he's not opting to use the Primal Split, but Emo's in big trouble. Heavenly Grace still amplifying him. No ultimate charges, but you're seeing the big lack of damage that RNG have at the moment.
Yeah, they really do. As long as they can take out that Lina first and foremost, they don't have a way to turn around right now. God King's sole priority is just farm, farm, farm. Even once he gets his ags, it doesn't really enable him to fight. It just gives him that potential to farm and eventually scale into doing some sort of damage through the Maelstrom, through getting some lifesteal.
Wrap on the backline, Kaka. If they can burst down Red Panda before the ultimate, they do so successfully. It could be a big epicenter. The Guardian Angel not protecting him through all of the spell damage. Fly still able to find a double kill. Red Panda is even looking to buy back to rejoin the fray. Is the chain lockdown perfect here to hold Emo? He even gets a tower before getting back to safety. Unfortunately, with the dissimulate and the astral step on cooldown, D-Stone secures a triple. So a nice buyback from Red Panda, but Fly's still sticking around. They're straight on top of D-Stones, stacking up the damage. The Vac drag back, JT is going to sacrifice his life, but as long as he can continue to secure Fly's essence, it's stacking up here. It's up to 6 perma. He's looking for a 7th, but diving under the tier 2 tower is not on the cards for the Slark. I say that. It's still not... Is it still not on the cards? Fly? Dark Pack, now on cooldown. Pounce down, but they can snowball forward. Fly's got a 2. Antsy, 2 overzealous. Without the Shadow Dance capability, great timing on the Dark Pack. Karkar's coming on over as well, but some of the hook shots on cooldown. Fly standing his ground. Just doesn't have enough to sustain. Unfortunately, Karkar might just sacrifice his life as well, but Emo back with the respawn, looking to help out, but he is able to recognize, but this time, that's too deep for him to go.
A little bit too keen. For RNG side, they don't lose that much throughout that entire exchange, and you just saw the big difference of D-Stones just being able to sit back. He used his entire mana pool when he picked up that triple kill previously, and you know, if Emo's on top of him, he can't do that. So that triple kill brings him only 1,000 gold away from picking up his BKB, and it's just going to further enable this style of play that he wants. He's also one of those few heroes that didn't have just a pure damage talent nerfed. He still got that plus 30. So early on, why wouldn't you want it?
And throughout all these engagements, the God King Gyrocopter has just been free farming by the Ancients. His second in net worth, and in fact Radiant, they have accumulated a net worth lead off the back of that. So this is looking pretty solid for RNG at the moment.
Yeah, going straight into the BKB. I mean, he realizes what IG's game plan is to run at you. Yes, you've got the eventual ability for a Slark to get somewhat big, but it doesn't feel like it's on the same level as a Gyrocopter. So he's like, right, we just need to get through these next 10 minutes or so, and then I've got it. You know, I'll be able to carry this game through. We've also got a Lina who's no slouch in terms of late game as well. And then, of course, we've been talking about the effect of having this Sand King against 4 melee heroes. Who, by the way, Blink Dagger online for Flyby.
Alright, this is going to be a big item, because we've kind of seen them lacking... Emo? He's got Ollie behind him. Yeah, we see they're lacking this instant start from RNG at the moment. You know, it was a big epi previously, but at least now having a way to start the fight. Could be a big X factor here for RNG.
Radiant's middle
They're going to
tower
jump on
is
forward,
under
use the
attack.
setup, but instant 2 TP rotations is enough from Invictus Gaming.
Slark continuing to push the bot side. I like the way that Flyfly is playing, making sure the bot wave is shoved in, especially with that siege creep there. So runs into Flyfly. No defensive
Radiant's
capabilities
bottom
right
tower
now.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
the dust he does. This could be a dead Sand King.
Yeah, and that it is. Beautifully played here. Flyfly making sure he's carrying
Instant
detection, and they're going to smoke up. They want to dive under the T2 tower now. They've caught out the Gyrocopter. Felix maybe can snowball him to safety, but instantly on top of God King. But in the meantime, Flyfly has to Shadow Dance and pounce to safety.
Oh man, that was clutch by Oli, making sure he just got clipped on the edge of it with that Guardian Angel. So Flyfly ends up living. It cost them a little bit in exchange. You know, some ultimates. Probably didn't need to go for that kill, but I'm sure they were hoping that they could find D-Stones just waiting there between the tier 2 and 3 towers.
Red Panda is going to be careful. The chain lockdown is something they're lacking on Invictus Gaming, maybe with the battery assault, but it now expires, and they can get the ultimate coming through from Red Panda. Set up after the double burrow strike, JT just has to try and attempt to surge to safety. Let's hope the rest of Invictus Gaming will have a different fate. But they've locked onto Oli. D-Stones doesn't have a setup with the Yules for the LSA, and a Remnant can get it. Flyby? Oh, that's an aggressive blink on the higher ground. Burrow Strike's now being used. Emo's going to jump the back line to Heavenly Grace protect him. Another use of the Astral Step. He's trying to burst through D-Stones, but Emo again, too overzealous, and Flyfly. He's at least got 2 points to the ultimate. Karkar's going to jump in the back line. You see, all it is 5-man melee heroes running directly at RNG. They want to continue with the aggressive front, but are they able to do so at the cost of their lives as God King drops an incredible cooldown, securing a triple kill?
And that was without BKB. All he has
Radiant's
is an Axe
bottom
Scepter
tower is
and a
under
Mithril
attack.
Hammer. And hell, even a Tubbless Toy. That doesn't do anything in terms of right-click damage, so goes to show the impact that, well, going a bit of a hybrid build this time around as well. Not going the flat cannon range, he went for more health, he hasn't gone into any stats as well. So maybe just realizing that this greedy style that we see a lot of gyrocopters, particularly within the Chinese region, go, is not what you need to combat what IG have and are throwing at them.
Yeah, I like the adaptation for God King. He's kind of read this game, switched up the build a little bit, starting to get more active. BKB next item is going to further enable how the Gyrocopter can show up to these fights. They do have a bit of an issue with that Flybys really falling behind, but along to his emo as well. I mean, only 2 deaths here for the Void Spirit, but he put a lot more points in Aether Remnant, which is really going to limit his mass flash farming capability.
Yeah, he went into the Aether Remnant damage as well, as opposed to the mana regen. Mana regen, always good. Aether Remnant, I mean, it's got 11-second cooldown. If it's what secures you a kill onto a priority target, then of course it was worth it. But I'm sure there are going to be many times, probably even that one actually, where he was caught a little short on mana and not able to escape.
Firefly, how's he looking right now? Silver's Edge, next item for him. It's hunting. He might find the Sand King too. This extra nighttime vision. And Slark, yeah, he's hungry.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So blinking away just in time, so the dust doesn't even clip onto him. Could look for a turnaround here with the Sand
bottom
King
lane?
just hitting up onto level 12 as well.
Who's winning this man fight right now? Emo has a closer tier 1 tower, so the rotations are coming through. Deanstones actually just has to pop BKB and TP away. At least they're going to get a kill for Flyfly to stack up the essence. They did leave Oli, unfortunately, up top on the Omni Knight, but he hasn't been caught either. So Invictus Gaming stacking up another perma agi. He's up to 11 now on Flyfly.
Quite a heavy kill involvement. I mean, out of the 23 kills, he's been part of 12, more than half, and you can really tell, right? Like, this is the style of gameplay that you need if you're going to be playing with this Omni Knight in the position 5 role. You can't just sit back and farm, unless you're a hero like a Sven that has the potential of coming back, but I feel like with an Agi hero, this wouldn't work with a Deuce. This wouldn't work with... In my opinion, it doesn't work with a Gyrocopter either. It needs to be something that's able to actually use it and get right in the enemy's face.
What is Karkar looking for as well? Do you know what he's bought? Pipe. Okay, pipe
tower
completed.
is under attack.
The clockwork, because he's pretty
Radiant
farmed at the
structures are
moment. He's
fortified.
only about 1,700 gold behind. Yeah, I mean, he's 7, 6, and 11. A lot of kill participation. Jumping on top of JT. Hood, can he get the active off? A little bit too late. Die still sticking around. Firefly looking to reset, though, the cooldown. Is it going to slow them enough, Red Panda? They don't have the control unless Flyby can get nearby, but Emo's still really mobile. He's able to dodge the homing missile. Now, maybe Radiant have to be cautious of their positioning.
That's twice now when Red Panda in a team fight has used a smoke.
Yeah, I saw that.
The item that he wants. He did it previously as well around the stairs up into the bounty rune on the left-hand side. So some nerves settling in. He is an experienced player and he does have an unorthodox play style, but fear and stress get the better of all of us.
Oh, God King, don't run up this high ground. Oh, don't do it. Fly. Silver's Edge reveal. Maybe that extra damage is enough, but God King's pretty beefy right now with that 200 health and the items that he has at the moment. Fly still looking to try and build up the essence. Just a couple of kits in and out they go, but they've recognized, let's just leave the slot. I can deal with the rest of the heroes. The jump on Kaka, that's a big target to bring down because he's really going to disrupt the Lina, disrupt the Brew.
I feel like Kaka's been amazing this game so far. We were talking about kill involvements, 18 out of 23 for him. Yeah, a lot of it does involve deaths, but that's his job, you know, standing on the front lines, make sure that this Brewmaster, this Lina aren't having the impact that they want. Again, God King just runs into Fly. He doesn't seem to have too much fear, but probably should when he's got an Omni Knight backing him up.
Are you worried that IG aren't putting enough emphasis on farming up the map, though? Like, Firefly is, you know, falling behind on the Gyrocopter. Not by much, of course, because he's still 8, 1, and 4. But they are putting a lot more emphasis on really trying to take these fights. Are you wanting to see them maybe slow down the game a little bit? Or are they kind of on the mark with how they need to be playing?
I think they can continue to lean into it. Jara's already got a Divine Rapier queued up, because why not?
Classic God King.
I mean, I think it's fine as long as you continuously play around the Gyrocopter, right? Like, he's just been standing near God King on this bottom side for the entire time. And, you know, if you're not farming, as long as Gyro isn't either, pretty fine with it.
Jump on the back line. Trying to deal with Ollie first. They should be able to with the Epi. Firefly attempts to TP up, but the LSA! It's in the nick of time, and heavily punished there. Great defense from RNG.
Yeah, really nicely done, and it was even with the Heavenly Grace already on the Slark as well, so he was able to prevent a death coming through from that full Lina combination. So at the end of the day, not able to get the Guardian Angel off, and as well, still ending up dying. It was probably only 0.1 seconds until the TP got off. So 5v2 ends up going in RNG's favor. And I think that's probably where they're going to be looking to play in the next little bit of time. Just play around this top side, because there's always the Roche potential, right? Like, not amazing Roche takers either of these teams. No Silver Edges either. Oh, hook shot.
Kaka straight on the mark here with the Tusk. They just got the Aghanims as well on Emo, so he's in fighting shape at the moment. Even though he's pre-level 18, he's kind of itching for a fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Brew's getting a lot of farm as well towards his Ags. Like Red Panda, that first item commitment to the 4-staff is really nice for him. You see they're putting more commitment in the Brew's itemization, even though Red Panda's traditionally their position 5. And in fact, well, Red Panda, Emo straight on top of him. Maybe this extra Aghanims controls enough, but the last Resonant Pulse is on cooldown, so they're going to have to rely on the Battery Salt. And that is enough.
I mean, it's an insane 4-staff game, right? You're against a Slark, you're against a Clockwork. Hell, you can even prevent a few deaths coming from the Void Spirit full combo. So I can see why I wanted to go it, but I mean, what I'm finding a little weird is this Tusk, and he's rushing in Ags himself.
I saw that. I'm like, Aghanim Scepter, what's going on here?
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is they're probably going to try and target the Omni Knight, kick him away from the rest of his team so that he's either forced to pop Guardian Angel on himself only, or he just dies and then they don't have Guardian Angel unless he buyback TPs in.
Yeah, and also like maybe not even the Omni. Maybe you kick someone away from the Omni Knight where he's really reliant on this range. So you can kind of play it either or. Like maybe if IG are sieging towers, then you chuck him under the T4 tower. Ollie, difficult to get there. Smoked up.
Felix getting
They've
caught.
caught out God King. He's got a BKB, but the instant melt of the damage. Maybe the snowball will allow him to get the BKB off that with the epicenter. A massive combination. The Guardian Angel's not going to be able to protect him through the BKB, so Fly can stand his ground. They'll rip through the Gyrocopter. Now they can turn towards the lesser important targets like Flyby Sand King. It was a beautiful attempt to bring them back potentially in that team fight, but it wasn't enough.
I mean, there's the power of that pipe coming through, right? Like, amazing and good positioning as well coming through from Kaka, making sure that he didn't take the full brunt of that epicenter, just enough to be able to survive for the rest of his team. And this is probably, this is not the lineup that I would expect to take Roach first out of these two.
Yeah, no way at all. Fly still continuing to be the menace this game. 9-2-5. Is KDA looking incredible right now. Building to this Sanjin Yasha next. They're looking to cut off D-Stones and Felix. Oh, perfect. Rocket Flare as well. On point as, I mean, Kaka, he's got the hook shot to potentially cancel if need be. They just...
Go on, go for it. Oh.
If he's feeling himself... like, I mean, he is this game with how he's been performing. I was anticipating the hook.
Rock it on.
Oh, we've got another incredibly close game though, Danog. I mean, 1,000, under 1,000 worth lead now for RNG. This is a big timing though for Invictus Gaming. With the Aegis advantage, it feels like they've got to get a lot out of this.
I mean...
Fly.
I kind of thought he was just...
Run out of the higher ground into the Sentry. They might just lose the Aegis. Okay, great timing on the Dark Pack. He really got me a bit worried there that he was going to lose that life.
I mean, only having just taken it a minute ago, feels like it'd be throwing it away pre-SNY as well. Now you do absolutely need to finish up the component with the Sanj. I believe it's nerfed down the status resistance from 16 to 12.
Yep.
So when he gets that SNY, it's going to be back at 25%. Really helpful, provided that you're not standing right next to your Omni Knight.
Smoke up again. Looking for the pounds.
Doesn't have detection himself, though.
Just gonna have to rely on the team to follow up with the sentries. Flyby. Great counter up. They've really stopped the Slark, but he's still looking to pounce on forward with the Primal Split used as well. Maybe they can purge off the Guardian Angel, but they're targeting through God King. They're giving the Gyrocopter zero opportunity to be able to man fight at the moment, so it's all on D-Stone to the backline. Maybe this guard is able to help them out here, but it doesn't look like it's enough. So now the epicenter for Flyby, a double Burrow Strike, but still Fly is locked onto D-Stones. Somehow still alive, but will finally fall. They'll dealt with the Aegis, but the strength in numbers now from Invictus Gaming cores are looking to continue in the fight. They've got the detection to scout out the Sand King. And with the Burrow Strike on cooldown, Fly is actually retreating right now. They're worried to snowball in deeper and deeper, but JT, a vac onto 2 for Fly. Still all the magical damage, the pulses, the sandstorm. It's enough to find the kill. That's a big one on the Slark, but maybe Emo and JT, they're the two heroes that could turn this one back around. As JT, with this normal punch, it got buffed up exceptionally through the patch, but still Fly. He's been the big component through these team fights with the Sandstorm talents and the Aghanim Shard as well. Burrow Strike in a couple seconds. Emo, another use of the Eulers to punch. Can he get the Burrow Strike? He can. Flyby. Man, this Sand King, he'll fall. He bought back as well, but the impact that he had through that team fight was exponential.
Yeah, well worth it, but god damn did JT get farmed from that. He is level 21 after all of this on his dark.
He's second highest.
Yeah, picking up the Aghanim Scepter for himself a while ago. And what's he got coming out to him now? Oh, a Blink Dagger, of course. Why not?
Wait, is God King? Is he actually doing this Rapier? Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, oh, okay, I thought he was kind of memeing, but nope, he's committing to it. Seems a little odd to do into an Omni Knight, into a Void Spirit that's able to dodge out a lot of the flax, into a Slark that can just get off his Shadow Dance and be totally fine, but, you know, you do you, God King.
I'm just waiting for him to switch up for an MKB. or a Daedalus, you know, whatever he wants to. I'm not. Karka just got 3 bounties as well, so they're loving life on Invictus Gaming. I wonder. Oh, I was gonna say, I wonder when the gem's gonna be picked up. Now Slark's got this one available, so the vision continuing to shrink on the map here for RNG.
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to get in onto, I would say Tusk mostly, but he's still lacking a bit of a silence, right? So even there aren't even many people that you can go onto and feel somewhat safe. I would say Lina would probably be the only one right now. Lina and Sand King are the ones that you'd be wanting to target, but once that BKB's popped, you just need to be able to get out of there. And I feel like unless he's got the safety of that Aegis, you're not going to have that.
Oh, Radiant.
BKB just shut the slug.
They don't have Emo nearby. What's he trying to finish the moment?
He's got Depth Shard on Slark. That's going to be nice for that little bit of extra security. And the Titan Slip is going to be coming out to him shortly.
Okay. JT, that's a nice item. Who wants to quicken? Do you give it to Oli? Do you hold it yourself? Maybe even Emo?
I'd keep it for myself.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The hold? Oh, he sent it back. Okay, this is a big item though. The Aghanim Scepter for Red Panda. Double the Primal Split capability. Could be...
Level 18, by the way, on this Pulse 5 Brewmaster.
Yeah. Poor Omni Knight, only level 14.
I know he's a big fan of getting the Ag Shard as well on this Brewmaster. Yeah, it got a quite heavy buff recently to its overall damage, so I'm a fan as well. Although I gotta ask if he's able to handle the extra layer of micro, because in my eyes, priority number 1 is dispelling that Guardian Angel, and I believe the full Guardian Angel duration happened in the previous fight, and he did not touch his dispel magic.
Yeah,
he did it after, so I was like,
be fearless.
Yeah, that's going to be important. Heavily important. Is it a ally dispel as well?
I think it just says dispel targets.
Red Panda. They're on top of the brew. If they can bring him down, he's got nowhere to get out of the silence. Another hook shot follow-up. Great prioritization from Invictus Gaming. They recognize as soon as the Aghanims is picked up, brew is number 1 priority. Tosca's got agged. Did this get changed at all? Like, what?
Don't think so.
Yeah, no, it didn't get changed. I'm so intrigued. I'm so intrigued.
That's just going into the extra health there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about it. Honestly, a big part of, I think, why IG have been able to come back into this game, because it felt like from the 15 to 25 minute mark that this was all RNG, is I'm not liking the itemization of the Skadi on D-Stones. It just doesn't feel like it accomplishes much of anything.
They're able to catch up potentially another hero, but instant Yules into the reset. Fly is really just looking to put a lot of priority on getting Essence and then getting back out and not too heavily committing, because we have seen what's happened for Invictus Gaming when they stick around for a fight for a bit too long.
Yeah, what do you reckon the Skadi's for? I know, like, you're against an Omni Knight, sure, and you've got the heals from Purification and Heavenly Grace, but I don't think that's enough to justify, 5,500 net worth towards, especially when you're against only melee cores. Slark getting a Skadi, I'm all here for it, right? He's against a Lina, he's against a Gyrocopter. These are the exact heroes that you want to be able to buy.
Fly. Great position. Okay, so he's got a Rapier. They really feel like they need this 3rd item Rapier to bring them back into this game, even though they're only down 5,000 gold. We honestly never see this early of a Rapier, unless it was like that Medusa patch a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Or unless you're doing Slash's Way. And they've scattered it out as well. Like, Flyby and God King, they're standing right underneath an Observer Ward, so they know what's coming. So I wonder if that's going to impact on their targets moving forward. As Emo is level 24, reaching up onto that level 25. Honestly, either of them would be fine with the extra buff.
Oh, D-Stone's got to get out. D-Stone's got to get out. Uh-oh. I believe they see him with that Observer Ward. They know he went in the tree line. Fly's going to run into him. They need Karkan nearby to potentially stop the BKB TP up, but the rest are ready to swing on over as well. Laguna Blade BKB heavily committed, now on top of the river. They've caught out Oli. This is a really impactful hero to bring down, but it split them away from the Tusker. So Omni doesn't have a buyback, Tusk doesn't have a buyback either. A 4-on-4, an even fight to start the moment as Emo jumps in and back out. Not enough damage to burst through Flyby, but looks like Fly, he's still doing the dirty work. They're straight on top of the Lina. You're now heavily relying on the Rapier to do all the damage here from God King. He's targeting down JT. The damage enough to secure with a kill on top of the Dark Sea. Red Panda, second charge of the Primal Split. But it's only 2 heroes against the 2. It's God King. He needs to TP out, but they don't have a way to cancel that, so they're just going to stalk Red Panda. Who does he want to try and end the split on? Can be the wind, can be the fire, can be the Earth Panda. Fly hunting though. He's super speedy. Not going to continue going.
This game could still go either way. And, yeah, I mean, that Void Spirit, he's getting close to 25. Previously, I would say, you know what? 2.5 second Assimilate's done. You'd always go for it. But now that Astral Step has gone up to 350 damage, having that extra crit come from it as well is going to be real nice.
Radiant's top tower is
Fly. Another D-Ward as well. 0 vision on the map now for RNG. I mean, Red Panda has got
Roche.
2 wards, yep, and Roche is up, so that's a perfect time to get rid of that ward at the top side.
Just a nice little Octarine core for your position.
Yeah, for your Omni.
As well.
He's going Aghanims.
I can vibe with the Ags, but very few times you see the Octarine on something like this. I could understand, like, yeah, maybe a Solar Crest might have been more along the lines of what I was expecting. It's just Ags gaming.
That could be really nice, actually, solo.
Yeah, why not? They're questioning themselves. This is the power of the Rapier. It just invites fear into the conversation.
Fly again, always looking at try and be the one to lead, to get the vision, to scout these heroes out.
JT's got his Aeon disc completed as well, just has it locked in the inventory at this point in time.
Ooh. Okay, so Gold King actually was able to finish another item after the Rapier. I don't know where he got this Satanic Gold, but it's been completed now, so it's going to give him a lot of sustain, and I don't think that I can burst him down. 3,300 health, Titan Sliver as well. They have to, you have to live or die on this high ground from Radiant. That's your only ward positioning around Roche. A high ground fight is where you will excel. Unfortunately though, Emo's got a DD now in the arsenal.
Yeesh. Timeless Relic though. That can completely change the game. If Flyby is able to get a great Blink Epicenter off, the damage will go off the charts.
RNG.
As JT might be the one that gets caught out here. Let's see how quick he is on
He's
the
got
fingers.
Aeon. Yeah, this assembles into the moment. They're all grouped up. They've got to be careful. Guardian Angel as well. JT, what a blink away. They're on top of D-Stones on the backline here, but the BKB protecting the Lina. Massive amount of buybacks coming through, but the Slark's in trouble. Shadow Dance wasted. Maybe can utilize the depth strat here, but the kick away gives Fly ample time to regen up and get back into the middle fight, but you got to be careful. Gorky, he's standing his ground on the high ground. The BKB's inspired. The Satanic is inspired as well. They're locking on top of the Gyrocopter. The Rapier's down.
Rapier's on the deck.
Fly should be able to pick it up. It's still on the deck at the moment, but it doesn't matter. They want to kill off the heroes before getting the Rapier, as Red Panda will be the 5th to fall, and with that RNG tap out.
They just instantly call it. You know, you were talking about, oh, it's a 6k advantage. It's not that much, but 21, 22k by the end of it all. All it takes is one unfortunate team fight that didn't even go too badly for them, but it was another one of those engagements that I just don't think they got the full value out of the Brewmaster.
Yeah, that was... I mean, what a game, though. That was still highly entertaining for how even it was for such a long time. The action-packed performance from both these teams. I mean, 29 against the 44 kills. And all in on the Rapier, unfortunately, for RNG and God King. That just wasn't the X factor for them to come back in this game. But what an incredible performance from IG, recognizing how active they needed to be early with this 5 melee, just running down the map, just go, leaving no breathing room for RNG at all. And this enables them to now take the game one out of our last best of 3 of the night. We went the full distance in our previous series. We'll find out if we'll do the same thing here after a short break. We'll see you guys back in about 10 minutes.